What's going on, family? It's your girl, Just K for real, checking in once again. Literally, it's no pressure, and I got the slip report. You ready, bud?
Go ahead.
All right, let's get it. So, do you feel like only black people get killed by cops?
I hear white people here and there, but it ain't like you hear about black people.
Right. Why do you think that is, though? I feel like, because I'm bringing this up, because we talked about this a little bit before, but like, why do you think it is that we
I feel like they put us in the media to normalize us getting killed. So even when, white people do stuff, they just kind of push it under the rug because they don't want that to be normal, killing them.
Yeah, I think that, like, even as far as what we learn in schools and stuff, like, we keep learning that we gonna lose. They teach us the civil rights movement, they show us the dogs and the hydrants and whatever, and then they tell us about certain people who kind of started winning, like Martin Luther King, but then, yeah, we killed them too when they thought they was gonna win. So it's like, now we're gonna show you that you still gonna lose because the cops gonna kill you too. It's just promoting that narrative that we can't come up. So according to the Washington Post, right, we are killed over 2 times more, like 2.5 times more than white people by cops. So they did a study with us. Who you think is next?
Mexican.
Hispanics. Who you think is next?
Asians.
Nope. White people. Then other.
Okay.
And others, whomever, right? It's going good, family. However, remember I told you about the wheelchair guy who got killed? The cops shot him in the wheelchair?
Yeah, I seen it.
Okay, so, and I thought he was black. He was white. So, he was white. His name was Richard Lee Richards. And now, going further into the story, finding out that he's white, it was funny to see how they handled the situation, how they handled the story. So, the part about it, when we get killed by the cops, what's the first thing they do?
They put a negative back. They tell our background on the news and put like a horrible picture.
But they did the same thing to Richard Lee Richards.
Yeah.
So apparently, he has a long history of crime. He had 10 years in prison for first-degree attempted murder. He got out in 2007, and those were for crimes that was back in the 90s, basically. Sorry, he went in 2007. He was released in 2018, went to jail again for transporting illegal aliens for profit, and then gets out. And the reason why he was in the wheelchair to begin with is while he was in jail, he was like kind of hindered, kind of crippled, basically. He had to get a hip replacement. So the only way he could move is through that wheelchair that he was in, right? So they tell us the bad stuff about us, or the people, the victim rather, but they don't tell the bad stuff about the officer. But the former officer did get fired, like I told y'all before. So his name was Ryan Remington, or is Ryan Remington. He got fired and is under investigation. So we got to see if they're going to lock him up for it, or if he's going to just be able to get off because he a cop. But with that being said, the fact that he got fired and the fact that the guy was white, do you feel like any different as far as what we go through with the cop killings versus that? Like with them handling the story the same way, or putting out the fact that he's a criminal, the guy just getting fired or whatever. Do you feel like any different about the story?
I just feel like people just do whatever they can do to cover up their tracks. So they was like, fuck it, it don't matter if he white. Like, let's get this shit straightened out. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I look at it. But I feel like whoever his family is should do something to the officer, because usually when it's fired, they don't revoke his certificate to be a police officer. He can go work for somebody else, yeah. So they need to revoke his license to be a police officer too. And he should be, taking to trial.
Yeah, and the thing I will give him, if you watch the video, he did try to de-escalate the situation. And he said, don't go in there, put the knife down, don't, stop moving, all of that stuff. But I just feel like they ain't have to kill him. Like,
I didn't see no weapon either when I seen the video.
When you saw the front part?
Yeah, I didn't see a weapon.
I feel like I saw something like in his hand on his lap. And they said the whole time they were saying that or whatever, even when they called, because police were called from security on him. Because they thought he was shoplifting, they tried to confront him, and then he pulled out a knife on the security guard.
I ain't see no weapon.
Yeah.
I ain't see nothing.
But shoot, in other Betty White news, CNN fired a senior producer, John Griffin. Did you hear about that?
I think, is it like he did something for his brother or something?
He didn't do nothing for his brother, y'all. So what he did, he was charged by the FBI for federal child sex crimes. What he did, according to his indictment, he used messaging apps Kik and Google Hangouts to chat with parents of minors and basically try to pay the parents to try to have sex with their daughters. So they locked him up because he gave a mother $3,000 in order to rape a 9-year-old little girl.
I mean, I always say for guys who like that, other countries, the age limit for sexual consent is way lower. So just get the fuck out of the United States, because I think Iceland is like 12.
So you think that's cool?
I mean, I can't knock what you believe in. If another country believe that that's old enough to consent, who am I to say y'all wrong or y'all nasty? You get what I'm saying?
So what you think? Like, as long as it's in another, like, what is your sentiment on that shit? Like, as long as it's where it's legal, then it's cool.
I mean, that's how I go. I mean, not saying that
you personally.
I'm saying I mean, just because something is legal, that don't mean it's right. You get what I'm saying? Some people try to justify crazy shit by doing it, but I mean, for me, I mean, I got like a sort of like, she like a daughter, but it's not biological. So, I mean, I just thinking about if it was her, like, of course I'd be mad if she get with somebody like old and she real young. So, I mean, I have a problem if it's like my child or something, or my family. But if it's somebody else's kid, I kind of like,
it is what it is.
Business,
yeah, I can't. I ain't with none of that shit. Like, anything that's like underage kids, that shit hit my heartstrings real hard.
Because I think Neo it was some rumors that he was in another country and he had sex with like an underage prostitute. But,
like Epstein Island.
But they do that. I mean, when you go overseas, it's a free fall. So, I mean, if that's what you into, you gotta just move over there, man.
You into that?
No, I mean, I like women grown, but it be for real though. You have girls who be 13 and they be looking grown. They look grown as hell. But yeah, I stick to the it's 17. Well, I heard it was 16 in Georgia, and then I heard it was 17.
The age of consent?
Yeah,
I think it's 16. Yeah, that's still. I can't even date. I can't think about talking to nobody that's. You be like, yeah, how old are you? 17? Oh hell no! Like, I got little brothers.
It's like women be want conversation and all that, and the dudes just want something to knock down. So the young girl, you just take it. It's not gonna really matter, because you don't really want to talk anyway. Even if she grown.
It's not even about that. It's about being old enough to know that this is what you want to do, or to consent. I don't know. To know that's what you want to do. You know, no damn 12-year-old, no 9-year-old at that ain't consenting to no damn sex.
I'm saying, when I was young, like people was making fun of me like in the 3rd grade for being a virgin. So. People,
really?
Yeah, people start early.
Hell no. I mean, I do believe that, but like, hell no, I'm not with none of that.
Then when I moved to Missouri, I remember we was coming home for the Boys and Girls Club, and it was this chick named Catrice. She had a big old ass, and like we was hunching her. We was taking time hunching her, and then we was like, we gonna go home, we gonna come back. Then we was supposed to fuck her for real. But when I went home, one of my sister friends seen us, and she knew what we was trying to do. So she told my sister told my mama. So when I was like, I'm about to leave, she said, motherfucker, you ain't going nowhere. But girls, they be on this shit real early.
But not no 9-year-old. Fuck that.
Yeah, 9, like 2nd, 3rd grade, they be trying to fuck.
How do you even know what fucking is?
Hunching, you watch movies,
don't be admitting to talking about wrong hoe, fool. But I don't know, 9-year-olds amongst other 9-year-olds is different than a damn 40-year-old with a 9-year-old.
They do it overseas, man.
I'm not with none of the shit you talking about. Well, our silver lining of the day, okay, in the words of Slip, there's a whole lot of slip shit going on. But you kind of slipping with the eye. I ain't messing with you, bud. But our silver lining of the day, remember Derek Chauvin, the guy who had his knee on George Floyd's neck. So he pled guilty earlier this week, to a federal charge of violating George Floyd's civil rights. Admitted for the first time that he actually did keep his knee on his neck even after he became unresponsive, resulting in his death. So with that being said, we always talk about, well, what's the charges, what he looking at. So he was already charged for the murder of George Floyd, murder and manslaughter. So he had 22 and a half years already. Had he not pled guilty to this charge, he was looking at life if he took it to trial. Under the plea agreement, both sides of the fence agree that he should face 25, but the prosecution is going for the 25 for sure. The final sentence is left up to U.S. District Judge Paul Magnuson, but he's likely to face at least 6 more years than what he already looking at.
He going to the feds or just?
This is a federal charge.
Okay, yeah, so that means they say fed time, you gotta do all the time. So.
And so if he's looking at 25 years, basically he's looking at possibly spending 21 years and 3 months in prison, and possibly 6 extra years than what he already had. He's 45 years old right now, so is that a win?
Yeah, I mean, he get to keep his life. Yeah, I feel like if you kill somebody and you don't get killed, like, yeah, you winning.
No, is that a win for us? Because we be mad. So, and I feel like that's the part. Like, are we happy? Because we go so hard at being mad about the shit, but we don't even follow it long enough to figure out what happened at the end and if we won. So, with him facing, he's 45 years old. He looking at least 21 years in jail. Is that a win for us?
No, the win will be he died, his mama died, and one of the kids died. And then it need to be known that it's done, and they'll be like, we ain't doing that shit no more. That was crazy.
Nah, I'm with that.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. I feel like an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, goddamn. You do it to mine, I'm gonna do it to yours times 10.
It need to be like, example got to be set for it, and that'll be the win.
Yeah, but I mean, as far as justice goes, for the people who aren't as violent as us, do you feel like that was justice?
No.
It ain't justice till he died?
No, like if George Floyd was my brother or something, like, no, that's not enough.
Yeah, he just got died.
Yeah, I want the same thing to you or your family.
Yeah. It would have to be him and his family. Like you said, your mama, sister, brother, auntie, but all of y'all gotta watch each other type shit. I'm with all that. We going ruthless with it.
Yeah, somebody got to die.
Somebody got to die. Well, that's my slip report. It's your girl just came through with the slip report. Literally, it's no pressure, y'all.
Oh yeah, it's one story here. I'm looking at on my Facebook. This dude basically went live. It was his Facebook or his Instagram, and a crackhead came up to him trying to buy crack on live, and he was like, "Donate me money for her." And it got up to like $300 or something, and she was just like, "Yeah, I want this much." She was telling how much crack she want, and he was like, "Hold on." She said, "Well, just give me this much crack, and I take the rest of the money." So, what you think about criminals who get on live and just do? I was like, "Bro, he really doing this?" Like,
no, I think that's dumb as hell. Like, I tell my brothers all the time, like, as far as everybody know, you broke and lacking. So especially when you dealing with crime, like, people like posting their guns, posting their money that they ain't got no job to represent getting the money. So how the hell you selling crack and you on Instagram Live talking about, "Hey y'all, give me some money so I can get this crackhead some dope"? Did he show the drugs?
No, he ain't show the drugs. She's standing in the background. He's just like, "Hey, give me some more money. Hey, hold on, it's going up."
Yeah.
She's trying to get high. He's just doing that. Like, he ain't show no drugs.
I feel like, I mean, that could be smart though, because at the end of the day, they can't say nothing but I had a fiend on my show. It was a skit. It wasn't even real. You don't have no proof that I really did this shit. Like, if anybody ever came knocking at his door basically to try and lock his ass up, you really don't have too much.
He look like a dope boy. I'm looking at him now.
He could look like it though.
He look like a street nigga, like you can tell.
But what they gonna do unless he get caught lacking? But why do everybody gotta put their business in the street? Hey y'all, I just killed this nigga. Watch me. Here's the gun. Watch me. Like,
everybody want their 15 minutes.
For what? Have you seen the movie? It's called oh my gosh, what is it called? It's basically about this girl. She really wanted to be famous. Babe, you remember the name of that movie?
Nah, I don't. I don't know what you're talking about though.
She really wanted to be famous. So the girl really wanted to be famous, and she had this lame life, like living in the country. But she started robbing. They started robbing stores at first. Yeah, basically they started robbing niggas, but stores at first. They kept it small, but once she got into it, she kept going. But she recorded every video on live. She started putting it on her Instagram, and mind you, she's in this with this guy that she just basically liked. They like each other. They end up liking each other. He robbed the joint because he had to. They needed money. They had to get out of a situation. I ain't gonna spoil it, but y'all Google what I'm talking about and go look at this movie. But he robbed the joint because they needed money. They needed to go on a run. Once she saw that, she like, all right, bet. And then afterwards, they come back to the car. But she was like, I'm coming. She ain't got no life. She want to live on the edge. So she come and she record the first joint. After that, he's like, what the fuck you doing? Like, we didn't do this for fame. What are you doing? And she was like, nah, I'm not going to ever show our faces. Next robbery, showing her face. Next robbery, like showing them, showing the guns, showing the people. Like, it just got bigger, 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 and bigger. But you never seen it? I'm gonna find the title and I'm gonna tell you so you
She
can.
wants a new Bonnie and Clyde. Then.
Yeah, but
With Instagram.
yeah, but with Instagram, it's like the end of it is like she basically got what she wanted. She definitely got what she wanted, but it's like at the cost of what? So yeah.
I feel like you can. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Like matter of fact, I was talking to my homeboy in jail. He just always be like, "Bro, what you doing? Bro, you free? You can do this. You can do that." I'd be like, "Bro, I'm chilling, bro."
Yeah.
He always be talking about all the girls we had and all that, but I was like, "I'm chilling now. We older now. We ain't motherfucking 18, 19 running trains on." But that's all he talking about. But matter of fact, a story he told me when he called. He was telling me some dude showed his dick to him. He in prison. But he was like, the dude been trying to like fuck with him. So basically, he was just trying to get my advice because he was like, bro, what should I do? Like, these niggas think I'm something to play with. And I was like, bro, you already know you're a gangsta ass nigga. Like, just hold out and just like ignore this shit.
He almost out?
That nigga got like 30 years.
Oh shit.
But he been in since like 2012. But he'll get more time for fighting.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, bro, just chill. Like, you know who you are. I'm like, just don't hit if he hit you, hit him. But other than that, you just gotta like laugh that shit off
and keep him moving. Yeah.
But he always in good spirits all the time. But he, like I said, he be calling me too much. But he always
be trying to get something exciting.
Yeah, he's like reading a book when you talking to him. He take you to somewhere else.
Yeah.
But I be like, I'm glad I ain't do no crazy shit with the nigga. But it could have been some times where, he the type of person, if something happened, he'll be like, bro, you want to go over there? You want to take care of this shit? His fist ball up.
What's going on?
He just ready to do whatever. But hopefully he get out early, man, and he straighten his life out and be a truck driver like most of the, reformed killers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I guess we're going to get into the next guest, and we're going to be right back.
Literally, it's no pressure.